Here we are again. Let me tell you something. This no life thing is it is I'm actually looking at it as something fun to do these days, but I'm not sure like if this is going to be regular. But anyway, here we are again. Welcome back to the Antonia's Blissful Corner. And this is day 3 of my 25-day go live. I've been calling it a challenge, but it's not really a challenge. It's a journey. Anyway, before we dive in, I'm going to ask you to please get my book, Unlocking the Introvert, a pocket guide to understanding and interacting with introverts. It is available at societyofintroverts.com, Amazon, and everywhere books are sold online. So, today we're going to be talking about um, quiet confidence that isn't loud, it's just steady. Now, introverts are actually pros at the quiet confidence thing. And one of the things that I know about me is that I feel like for many years was deemed as being confident. Like people saw me based on my appearance as being confident, but what they couldn't see and what they didn't know is what was going on inside, right? So I have accepted that well, obviously I've accepted that I'm an introvert and that I'm different and that people view me the way that they do. And I've also accepted that they can because there is a lot of judging when it comes to introverts. Now, um, quiet confidence doesn't always look like being the loudest voice in the room. Sometimes it's simply knowing that you belong there, even in silence. I always For the most part, I've always felt like I didn't belong, but I have grown to appreciate the fact that I do belong, and I have also I'm learning how to take up space. Right? If there's no space provided for me, I will create one. That's kind of the attitude that I am adapting, um, because a lot of us for far too long has chosen to be quiet and to be on the outside looking in. And the reality of it is we can stay in the same room and just peeking from the corner, or we can choose to go stand in the middle of the room, be feeling very awkward and uncomfortable, to soak it all in. I prefer the first one. I don't like the latter. um, excuse me. I do believe that my presence speaks even when I do not. I've accepted that my quiet confidence can show up on the outside in addition to on the inside. The way that I dress, the way that I walk, the way that I speak, actually, the way that I walk, the way that I look, I believe that it speaks before I do, right? I feel like when I walk into the room, my presence reflects someone who is highly confident. And I'm learning to walk into rooms like God sent me there because He did. I feel as if like we should all believe that. We should all walk into spaces not like this, but like this. And not because we have, an air about us or anything like that, but because, we know that we belong. Excuse me. A lot of people, when I'm walking on the street now and I take notice of people that I'm walking past, even like younger generation, and sometimes like they just look head down and they just look so sad. And it made me realize that a lot of and we're all going through things, but I feel as if it's the way in which we choose to um, carry the weight. But when you're a quiet person, no one ever knows, right? Like we always just have this look on our like a resting face, a resting face. And I'm happy that I'm learning more about myself, and I'm happy that I'm choosing to show up for myself in a way that my interior matches the way that my exterior is. Um, like when I speak with people that I'm familiar with, and they share with me their um, how they perceive me in the past. It's always funny, and I always laugh because I'm like, wow, that's how y'all see me. And the reality of it is, I think that I know that I have been judged, and I actually judge people too. But I know that I've been judged because of the way that I carry myself, the way that I present, right? Because I do walk around with in the office with my afro sometimes, my high heels, and all of that. So people see this confident black woman walking like I own the building. And inside, oh my God, the turmoil. The turmoil is like, cannot be described. But I'm happy now that I am embracing Antonia, and I'm anxious to learn each day about Antonia. I'm happy to see the growth that Antonia is making, right? Because I used to always think that I would always be the behind the scenes, and I'm perfectly happy behind the scenes. I am perfectly happy in my comfort zone behind the scenes. But in all honesty, now that I have ventured outside of the comfort zone, I'm actually enjoying this version of Antonia, because this version of Antonia is basically okay with shining in her own little bubble, um, while also knowing that I have my home, I have my little quiet spaces. I can go to the park and just be as weird and quirky as I want to be, because I don't care. Like I no longer am, you know, caring what people think, because the reality of it is what people think is their business, not mine. And I'm not certain how many hours and days I have left on this planet, and I'll be daggone if I'm going to spend it worrying about what people think, right? So my quiet confidence will continue. It's just that it'll be in a different way. It will be in a more bold, in a more sure, like I'm more sure of myself now. Like when I walk into rooms, I still feel nervous, coming on tonight. I was happy, but I was also a little bit anxious. And yeah, I mean, I feel like introverts, because when I look at people in the office or even on the street, like I can point people out. I'm like, that person is introverted, that person is introverted, because we're always the quiet ones. People always think that we're sad. People always think that we're antisocial, and it's none of that. I feel like when people get to know us, they're like, wow, you're really cool. And I'm like, yeah, I tried to not tell you, but I didn't tell you. But yeah, just get to know me, get to know us. If you get my book, you would understand us a little bit more. And I have my friends in the chat. Hey, Kay. Hey, Violet Crow. Hey. Yes, Violet Crow. Being behind the scenes, for me, it's a wonderful place. I have been in at church, like pre-COVID. I used to do a lot of stuff at church, and I never like to get called out. My thing is, if I'm doing something, I'm doing it from my heart, and the only people that need to know is me, the person I'm doing it with and or for, and God. I don't need a big old stand up, Antonia. No. So I used to actually run. I used to run and hide. If not in some, like in the kitchen under a table, not kidding. And when I know that they will find me, I go to my car. And that did happen one time till I fell asleep. And when I woke up, I saw people leaving the church, and I was very happy to go back in and finish cleaning up and tidying the kitchen or whatever have you. Uh, but yeah, like I'm enjoying this chapter. What I've learned this past few months is that life is meant to be lived. And while the comfort zone was nice, um, my step outside is nicer, right? So when I'm walking on the street now, I do walk with an air of confidence, still quiet, because when I'm walking, I walk with intention, and if their horns are tooting, I can't hear. Even if I have no AirPods in, I don't hear you. Don't toot at me. Um, and then if I see someone, I still dash around the corner. Like I still, like try to avoid people and all that. But um, and that will always be the same, because I don't like small talk, and people, for some reason, they like it. I don't know why. But anyway, confidence, it doesn't need validation. Quiet confidence to me, it doesn't need to be seen. It's about knowing who you are, and that's where I am now. I know who I am. And so even if no one acknowledged me, I acknowledge myself. There are times when I used to feel overlooked, even though I feel like introverts don't really want to be seen, but we want to be seen. We don't want to be noticed, but we want to be noticed, right? It's almost as if, like, if I walk into the room, like just do this thing like that. Like, let me know that you see me. Don't be like, hey, Antonia. I will run. I will make it about face and run because I do not like to be called out like that. It's uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable. Um, and one other thing is calm doesn't mean that we're weak. I I'm happy that God blessed me with the gift of being calm. So when everybody else is running around, the building is on fire, I'm like, okay, calm down. It's on fire. What are you gonna do? Doing all of this is not gonna make the fire go out. And so, because I feel like doing all of that, first of all, it's a lot of energy that I can't waste because introverts, we have to protect our energy. So we're not going to do that, right? People often confuse calm with insecurity, but that right there is power. Peace is power. And I'm loving that I'm learning that about myself now. Like people used to say, oh, like when I learned about introvert and, like our quiet strength and all of that, like I'm I'm really and truly understanding now what that means, right? When, like quiet people, like they have, because we don't talk much. We do a lot. Like we don't mind helping out people and doing stuff behind the scenes, but we like our peace. We like our peace, right? And like now that I'm doing my inner work, I'm learning that I don't need to overreact because I've never done that before, but I'm doing that even more now. Like I feel as if like I always have poker face. Like um unless I tell you how I feel, you ain't gonna know. You can guess all you want. you know the one thing that is sure though is that I am happy. Like I have found my happy place, and I think that's what's making this chapter of my life even more enjoyable, because the inside now matches the outside. And when I smile, it's authentic. When I laugh, it's authentic. And I see where my laughter and my smile, it helps people. Like whether on the street, like somebody could be walking with me, and when I say good morning and smile, they smile back, good morning. And I like that. I just wish that, like more people would do that. Like the whole saying good morning thing is just the way that me being Jamaican, and I think a lot of West Indians and people from the South in America were raised to basically be polite, say good morning when you walk into the room, and, say thank you, say please. And it's to the point now where if people walk into the room and they see me and they don't say good morning, you can basically skip the whole day of speaking to me, because I will not. Like there was a point in time when if I look up and I see people, I'll say good morning. But I'm like, you know what? I'm somebody too, right? That's the one thing. One of the things that I've learned is that I matter, and if I don't matter to you, then I will return the favor gladly. It is what it is. Um, so confidence, as far as I'm concerned, it's built in the dark. My confidence was long. It was built long before anyone noticed me, right? I feel like I just didn't know that I had it. Like, and it's crazy because there were things that I wouldn't want to do for myself, but if someone needed something, or wanted something done, I'd be glad to go and lend a hand or even lend my voice on behalf of that person. But if I need it for myself, ain't gonna happen. I'll tell you a story. Before my mom moved over, she used to live in Jersey. I'm in New York. And when I first purchased my home years ago, I have many uncles and aunties. But my mom, where she lived in Jersey, she had three brothers that lived nearby. And every time I had a function at the house, whether it was Easter, Christmas, Thanksgiving, or Memorial Day barbecue, I'd call mommy, hey, mommy, can you please tell Uncle so and so that I'm having an event to come? She'd be like, okay. And she would, until she didn't. I called her one day, that lady said no. And I was like, what? And she said, no, no, I guess they ain't coming. And I don't remember if I called them that year, but then I had to learn how to find my voice, because she raised us basically believing that the answer can either be yes or no. And guess who didn't want to ever hear no? This girl. So I never used to ask. But I did have to basically find my voice and call my uncles and invite them over because I wanted them here. And so it goes. But I will say that up until this day, there are times when I'll still ask mommy to be my voice, my voice, right? I'm a work in progress. So, confidence is a slow grind, and it's one of those things where it's a steady grow, right? It confidence, you know, it's that steady that lasts. So I feel like for me, like every experience, like the one that I just shared, every experience, it helps to build my confidence. Every room that I walk in, something happens that makes me hold my head even higher, if that's possible. And and because it's kind of, I feel like it's a learned behavior. For some people it is, it's a longer process for some than it is for others. But I will say that every time I honor my word to myself, it's a small step forward. Or every time I speak from a place of truth, that's me strengthening my quiet confidence muscle. It is a work in progress. I'm grateful for YouTube because I've learned a lot on YouTube. I've connected with a lot of people on YouTube that I hope to see in this lifetime, like my friends that's on right now. Hey Kay and Violet Crow. And the other day I had Starlet and Candy on. And doing this challenge for the next 25 days. And I will say that for those who were not here the first night, this idea was stemmed from a video that I saw over the weekend on the Think Media podcast, and the guest was Michael Zuber, and he mentioned that people should try to go live for 50 days straight, which I cringe. I'm like, 50 days, bite your tongue. But at first I wasn't even going to do it, but I contemplated, and after thinking about it for about a day or two, I decided I'm going to do it. Except I'm going to start with 25. 25 seems more bite size. And so I actually look forward to my 7:30 appointment to come on and be present. Anyway, so if you are someone who has ever been told that you're too quiet, too reserved, or not confident enough, please remember this. Your strength doesn't have to be loud to be powerful. Quiet confidence, it doesn't scream, it radiates. It's steady, it's intentional, and guess what? It is yours. Please, if this message resonated with you, go ahead and grab my book again, Unlocking the Introvert, a pocket guide to understanding and interacting with introvert. There are a lot of little tips in here about how to dot introvert, right? And so please also subscribe if you haven't subscribed as yet. Like, comment below, and let me know how you are walking in your quiet confidence. Like, how are you building your confidence as you continue on your journey? And I will say thank you once again to Violet Crow and for Kay for joining me, and for my mom who isn't in the chat. Thank you everybody, and as always, I'm grateful for this opportunity to grow, and I will see you tomorrow for day number 4. Take care.